Alright everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at the X Pro 801 retro game console. I know it says here Ultra HD 4K, but don't count on that, okay? Here's the back of the package right here. Let's get it out of here and take a look at it. Alright, here we go out of the box, and what you get is the console itself. This looks just like an Xbox One S, but the Xbox One S actually has components in it. Okay, this is just an empty shell. But we're gonna do a teardown. We're gonna check it out. Here's the power button. There's the USB ports for the controllers. Here's the back. Here's the micro SD card right here. Here's the HDMI. Here's the composite out, and there's the power. And the power is in the form of this USB cord right there. You get an HDMI cable. You get two transmitters, two controllers, and I will tell you, they feel decent. These things actually feel pretty good. I was a little bit surprised, actually. Here's some extra buttons on here. I don't know what they're for, but we'll figure it out, right? Yeah, these have a nice feel to it. They give you two of them. And then there's your, your composite out thing, so I won't use that. And then they give you this manual that really doesn't tell you a whole lot. Just tells you about formatting the micro SD card, tells you it's running Linux 3.0. I like how it says supports 4K, but then the resolution is 1280 by 720. It's 4K, it's 720 4K. Oh boy. It has 800 games on here. And it tells you what it's supporting here. The Capcom System 1, System 2, NEOGEO, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, SEGA, NES, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, Game Gear, SEGA Master System. Gives you the card in there is 32 gigs in here. And that is all your PlayStation 1 games. I guess this is where you would add your PS1 games. You could just pile them on here. And they'll run off of this card right here. And that's one of them click-in cards there, the spring-loaded ones. But other than that, it doesn't say a whole lot. It tells you about like not shutting off the power while you're playing a game and stuff like that. You could corrupt the operating system. Then they show you a little black and white picture of the menu here and how to start a game, and how to actually, you hit start and select at the same time to quit one of the games. So it tells you that there. Alright, so it doesn't have any this model does not have any connections, like for Ethernet or any of that, any online support for this. So basically, if this thing ever craps out, you're done for. Okay, so you're not going to be able to load back the operating system on here, because the operating system is on a chip on here. So if this thing ever shorts out or dies, it's just garbage fill. Just toss it in the garbage and get another one. Alright guys, we're going to tear it down, a quickie tear down, and then we're going to go play it. Here's the little teardown section of the X Pro here. There's the front. You would turn it upside down, and this way you're going to get to see what you're going to get for your money. Now, I already took the screws out to save the boredom of me taking the screws out. But I will tell you, there's 6 screws in all. 2 here, and then there's 2 here. Now, one of them has the QC tag over it, so you're not going to know what that is. And the other one has this they have these little plugs in there in the hole. And so right off, when I first did that, I wasn't really sure. I said, you know, what was that? Where was that other screw at? But it was underneath this little rubber little plug right here. It kind of blends in real good. It don't now because, of course, I pried it out of there. But at the time, it was almost indistinguishable where that was. It kind of melded right into it, you know. So after you take the screws out, then you just lift it off like this. Here, I'm going to turn it this way. Dang it. Right there. All right, so you see this is a big bunch of empty plastic. They could have just made it this big right here, a little box. There's your, you know, your output right here, your composite output, your power right here. Now, right here, right there, that is your CPU and GPU, and that is a ATM 7013. Now, where you would see this, I'll get a close-up look to it right there, the big one right there. You might even be able to see the reading on the writing on there. That thing only has one core, and it only runs at 1.1 gigahertz. But now, where you would see this chip is actually very popular. Okay, like say you was to go into your Walgreens local drugstore or something and see some little cheap Android tablet up on the shelf for $65 or something. That's it right there. That's what runs all of that kind of garbage. Is this chip right here, this ATM 7013. Okay, and now over here we have the ATC 2605. Now this is the audio and the power management, and that runs right out of this chip right here. Right there. Right there. Now, what I'm suspecting with this thing is that this thing here is the chip that has all the games on it. But I'm not sure, but I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to show you why in a second, why I think that. I think it's going to be that thing right there. This one, I don't know what that is. But right there, I think that's where all the games are, because the micro SD card that comes in it, which is in this little slot here, this just has the PS1 games on it. This thing here. This is just the external card for you to add games. But if you take this micro SD card and set it right on top of this thing, you'll see that the size is almost identical. If I can get it zoomed up in there. You see that? The size of the micro SD card, the only reason it's bigger is because it has the ridge on it where you snap it in there and where you can pull it out. And if you was to take that little ridge off, that thing would fit perfectly right on top of that. So I'm imagining that's where all the 3,000 games are, on that little thing right there. And then, like I said, this chip here, I don't know what it is. Just not sure. But anyway, there's your teardown, because there's really not a lot to tear down on this thing. It's pretty simple. Now this chip, I don't even actually know what it says, to be honest. Let me see if it. There is some writing on it, but it's just, I don't know. It just says MP and then this big serial number. So, I don't know what it is. But there's the audio chip and the power management, and then there's the GPU, CPU here. There's the games all on here, and then this, I don't know what it is. All right, guys. Let's go Let's go play around with it and see if it works. Let's see if it works now. Here's what it looks like when you first turn it on. So this is the menu that'll come up. It'll have this little blue little wave it'll fly across the screen there, and then this menu here will pop up. And then here's the games. Now I will tell you, some of the games it plays quite well. The NEOGEO games, I played a few of them. I played a couple of the Capcom emulators or the arcade boards. They played really nice. Now here's the PS1 game. They give you one game with it, okay? But they give you that little SD card, and that has a folder, and then that has these games here, you know. Like Silent Hill, I'll be checking that one out. So let's just go through here. I'm not going to play all of them, but, you know, I think it's pretty decent. For the money. It wasn't all that expensive, but it has it plays the games very well. You know, I mean, everybody has their own opinion on this kind of stuff. You know, everybody has their favorite systems. Like mine, I like the NEOGEO, the SNES, PS1. That's my favorite stuff. You know, I'm not a big fan of Genesis and the SEGA type stuff. But, I mean, like I said, everybody has their own opinion on what they like. So that's why when you review one of these things, you got to take that into account. So I'm going to try up here first. We're going to go to this Capcom board here and just run this thing. I wish the joystick cable was, if it was just a foot longer, it would be okay. It's just a little hair on the short side. A little hair on the short side. Now, when you're in one of these emulators, like almost all of them, even on the PC, you hit the select button to add the coins, and then you hit the start button to start the game. So we're just going to play this for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to shoot through some games. I'm not going to dwell too long on any particular game. You know, this is your final fight clone type of a deal here. Let me pick up the grenade so I can blow somebody up like this dude. Damn cheaters. I need that hamburger, man. Oh man, that little T-Rex is tearing me up. Oh, now he's sending the goon squad out after me. Yeah, this is bull. Man. Oh, come on. Well, looks like I'm going down again. Well, I took him out. That's enough. Enough is enough, right? It took me 5 minutes to beat that dude. Okay, that's enough of that game. Anyway, to quit, you just hit start and select at the same time, and that'll quit the game. You can also save the game. So that gives you a save state thing on there. So I'm going to exit it. So if I play it later, I'll have to start from the beginning. All right, so that was that one. And then you got, this is the Capcom games. I don't know. We have Mega Man, Final Fight, which is basically the same thing as I just played. Three Wonders. I played that before. It's pretty decent. Knights of the Round, World Fighters, Nemo. I'm not sure what that is. Pang. Yeah, Pang's pretty good. Capcom World. That's another one of those multi-games. Magic Sword. Actually, I like that game, Magic Sword. I used to play that all the time. But you see that the thing runs really smooth. You know, it keeps up. There's a little clipping and, you know, stuff like that. But I mean, you know, it's an emulator, so it's not original hardware. So. No, here comes the boss already. This little slippery character here. Now, one thing I did notice about this is that it doesn't give you any options to change the settings on the game as far as changing it back to original, like the 4:3. This is 16:9 here, you know, widescreen. So, but it doesn't give you any options to change it back to the original ratio. So, you know, you're not going to get that. Yeah, I've actually beaten this game before, you know. I think it has like 36 levels. In the old days, I played the hell out of this thing, believe me. Okay, we're going to quit that. Okay, let's go back to another menu here and look at a NEOGEO game. Here you go. Let me just throw a shooter up here. What do we got? Alpha Mission? I can't remember that thing. Did I ever play that? Indro, I don't know. Last Resort, I played that game. It's kind of a Ghost Pilot. Let me try Ghost Pilots. I think Last Resort's a little bit hard. My cat's over here bugging the hell out of me, by the way. It's hurting my gameplay performance. Beat it, Range. My wife's in the hospital. She's not feeling well, so the cat's lonely. So anyway, on this device here, I'm going to show you, because I'm going to quit this game real quick, even though I could kill this game easily. It doesn't seem to be that difficult. These joysticks are pretty nice with this thing. I mean, this thing has some nice pads here. They play really well. They're very responsive and they're very accurate. So we're going to go back out of here. Now, you know, if it emulates the Capcom ROMs and the NEOGEO, it's probably not going to have too much of an issue with a Super Nintendo game. You wouldn't think, right? You'd think it'd be able to fire one of them up. Here, we always can go with my Castlevania. Every time I do one of these reviews on one of these things, I always fire that up. Yeah, it would be nice if you were able to change it down to the 4:3 aspect ratio. I don't know if you could do that in the TV hardware, or, you know, I don't know if you could do that. I'm just not sure, you know. But, you know, I don't mind playing in this. It's a little more grainy. But, no, they don't have the buttons the way I would want them. If I was going to sit here and play this, I would have to reconfigure the buttons, to be honest. Because they're not where I like them. The buttons for this are over here. And I like them right here, so. I do hear a little bit of hiccuping on the sound. Well, the Super Nintendo had a way better sound chip than any of those other systems at the time, so probably a little bit harder to emulate that. But, you know, like I showed you in the Teardown, the processor on this thing's pretty damn slow. So, I mean, it's... Okay, so you see it's playing it, so... Like I said, it's a decent machine for what you're paying for it. Plus, you know, it gives you the option to be able to add your own games too. So that's an actual plus, to be honest. Oh, I knew he was getting me. All right, so Super Castlevania looks good. Now let's go to the SD card here. There's some PlayStation games on here. We'll just try the Dino Crisis 2. And we'll see how the PlayStation emulates on there. So, I love the hell out of this game, man. This is one of my favorite PlayStation games right here. 1 year. Okay, good. It's even loading like the PlayStation. Taking forever. Yeah, it looks a little bit blocky, but, you know, who cares? Let me make sure I got my buttons figured out here. Okay, there's the aim. Okay, so we got it. Oh, it has the tank controls too, so you got to be ready for that. Get over there. Ugh. Typical gamer, right? Get mad at everything. Seems to be playing this at a decent speed there. Get out of here, you dino. Ah. I better get to that med pack here pretty soon. With these jokers, they come up on you real quick. You want to go through here as fast as you can, but you can't. Yeah, you want to go through there as fast as you can, but you don't want to go too fast because then you'll run into the next wave too quickly. So you're better off just laying back a little bit and killing everything that's in that wave, and then moving on to the next wave. So don't really want to delve into any of this stuff here right at the moment. So I think it plays really well, man. I'm real happy with this thing. It plays nice. And what's nice about it is you can add your own games. You know, you can add your own PlayStation games. So yeah, I give it a thumbs up. I don't know what it was, $80 or 70, 65. I don't know, something like that, you know. But to me, it's worth it. It makes it worth it. You can add your own games, okay? Plus, the controllers are nice. So, all right, guys, there you go. I'll talk to you later. Have a nice day. Beast mode. It's a monster.